range if it gets down to a big field goal. Head coach Josh Shaw said Dubiel, who gets us underway, has plenty of leg. The Raiders let the ball go through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10, Walton Raiders on their own 20 as we take a look at number 21, DJ Smith. Man, is he attracting a lot of attention from some big-time college programs, DJ.
And he is, and deserving so. He's a huge playmaker for this Walton team, and we're going to see a lot of him, and here's his name called a lot, especially on offense and defense, but he's primarily in sometimes for just certain packages on offense, but he makes his money on the defensive side of the ball where a lot of schools are looking for him. A lot of schools in the SEC we know are looking for this kid for his services.
Just getting underway here in Canton, Georgia. The Walton Raiders just about to play or execute the first play from scrimmage in this contest. Bryce Wilson, number 14, their quarterback, looking to throw on first down. He's got a man complete on his right side to number 4, Chad Clay, just a sophomore, but already making a big presence felt in the Walton offensive attack.
Well, we got a flag on the field, and I already know what that is. They got a legal man downfield probably. It comes from the back judge, so that's what I'm assuming it will be, but we got to see.
Not a good start. Don't want to have a lot of penalties tonight. Want to keep this thing going. Bob Hamby is our referee. He asked me to send out a special hello.
Oh, yeah?
To his mom and dad.
All right, Bob.
Yeah, man. Bob's still getting it done. Illegal substitution against the Raiders, so they'll go 1st and 14 after their 1-yard gain on their other first down play. Now another flag. We've got confusion in Canton, Georgia. Now it's offside against the Warriors, so the 5 yards goes right back to the Raiders.
Well, just a couple pregame jitters here. I mean, like you mentioned, this is their second region game between both teams, so both want to get off to a good region start. Neither one of them want to fall to 0-2 or in their region, so they got to settle down.
That's why the Warriors need to get a win. They do not want to fall 0-2 in their region record. 1st and 10 again for the Raiders. Bryce Wilson throwing quick release, and caught on the left side. Big gain for the Raiders all the way out to the 40-yard line. Bailey Wolf on the reception, number 8, a 5'10".
The ball here is coming out really quick. Quick release, puts it on the button right there for Bailey. Good catch and run after the ball. Stride. That's a good-looking ball right there by Price. Just setting his feet right and throwing it. That's one thing Coach talked about. When he sets his feet, he can throw at anybody in the state.
1st and 10 from their own 38.5-yard line. Raiders trying to get it going on the first offensive series of the game. They keep it on the ground, hand it off to K.K. Brooks, and he has piled up some yardage so far through their first 4 games. K.K. Brooks, another sophomore for the Walton Raiders offense, making his presence felt.
KK has already carried the football over 100 times in this game, which is crazy.
That is
he's
crazy.
Carried over 100 times in this season, and he's rushed for over 400 yards, so he's definitely put in some work, and he's a key player on this team.
Another key player is Maurice Gibson. We'll be talking about him in just a couple of moments, but right now it's 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain that K.K. Brooks piled up for the Raiders. 2nd and 4 for Walton. Keeping it on the ground again, and once again, handing it off to Brooks. Picks up a few more yards on the right side. Will be 3rd and short for the visiting Raiders from Walton. Brooks is number 10.
Been very productive drive here so far already. They mixed it up, running pass. Started the game with a little bubble screen, came back, had the penalty. Now they threw a quick slant. Now their last couple of plays, running the football, getting it to a 3rd and 2 or 3, making it very easy for them here, and hopefully they can convert on this big 3rd down.
3rd and 2 from their own 47 for the Walton Raiders as the offense checks with head coach Rocky Hidalgo. Big hole right side, good blocking, some seal blocking on the right side for the offensive line for the Raiders as Brooks picks up the first down. And DJ, you mentioned he's already carried the pig 100 times through 4 games. But another big key player for the Raiders offensively is number 7, Maurice Gibson.
Absolutely. Maurice is one of the best receivers on this team. Coach talked about him. He catches the ball really well in traffic. And you believe it? Look at that guy. He has a 40-inch vert, Van Earl.
Wow.
40-inch vert.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. They're moving well in their first offensive series of the game. Keeping it on the ground to Brooks.
Nothing.
He is the workhorse for their ground game. Not much there that time for number 10 for Walton.
Absolutely. Very stout defense up front for Cherokee. They're stopping them up front. Got some big guys up front. Jamario Fox, number 41, who Coach talked really heavily about, say he's very quick inside. Say last year he weighed 235. This year he's at 255. So big number 41 in the middle, big nose guard, D-tackle in there, holding it down, giving them nothing on that last run.
Showing a lot of strength and potential for the Cherokee Warriors. It's 2nd and 9 for the Raiders and quarterback Bryce Wilson. Play fake, pressure, gets the ball out and incomplete, intended for his fullback, Henry Rowling. Rowling took his eye off the ball, looked upfield before he completed the catch.
Yeah, that's disappointing right there if you're a quarterback. I'm disappointed for Price.
You take that personally.
You got two guys in your face. You put it on the button. You have to throw off your back foot, and you put it on the button right in front of him, and the guy drops it for him. I know kids make mistakes. I know quarterbacks do too, but that play, you got to make it. Now you're in the 3rd and long now.
3rd and 9 from the Cherokee 49-yard line for Wilson and the Raiders. Shotgun snap. Wilson looking to throw. Plenty of good protection that time, but the throw is off the mark and too high. Intended for Bailey Wolf. Couldn't come down with it, so Walton's going to have to kick it away. That previous play, the incompletion to Henry Rowling, the most disappointing play of that first offensive series for the Raiders.
Well, that's kind of what happens when you have a bad play, another bad play turns around. And just looking at that curl route on the outside, it looks like Price was a little bit late on it. He took a couple hitches. He threw it on his first hitch, and that ball should have been completed. Other than it being high, he has to get it out a little bit faster.
Hunton Spiller is the punter for the Raiders. Takes a good snap, and the rugby-style kick. Gets a good Walton bounce down to inside the 15-yard line. So Cherokee will have the ball for the first time in this contest and start deep in their own territory.
Here's the Cherokee offense now that's looking forward to coming out, making a statement. They're 2-2 right now, but the biggest thing right here is they have 9 returning starters on offense. Last week, they put up 612 total yards on offense. So,
and that's the second time this season they put up more than 600 yards of offense.
And this team, this team can really score some points. They can move the football. So we're going to see if they can continue that in this game here.
Their quarterback is number 4, Spencer Ashley. He hands it off to Dwayne Tiller, number 11, up the middle. Tiller, a 5'11", 225 sophomore, big toter of the pigskin for the Warriors is number 11.
Yeah, that's a big kid right there. He's only a sophomore too. I wouldn't want to hit that kid right now if I was in high school.
Plenty of talent, plenty of offensive options for the Warriors as Ashley goes down on 2nd and 6. Big pass rush. Drayon Williams, the senior, 5'10", in there first to get the Cherokee quarterback.
And right on cue. This is the kid who leads this team in sacks. He's very explosive. Coach talked about him when we talked to him earlier in the week. Said, hey, this is a kid who can do a lot for us. I expect big plays from him.
3rd and 15 for the Warriors. Quarterback Ashley facing pressure again, throwing it downfield and complete to number 8. That's Blaze Brown, the 6', 170-pound senior. Another big weapon for the Warriors. First down and 10 for Cherokee.
Hey, great job of Spencer standing in there, delivering the football, taking a hit. You got to like that if your coach. He's going to stand in there and make that play. And what a great catch by Blaze going up for the football, making it.
1st and 10 from their own 36. Tiller on the right side. Look at him weave his way through traffic. Those huge thighs and legs grinding away and picking up good yardage.
That's a huge play. We're talking about Blaze Brown right there, number 8. This kid last week had 12 catches for 175 yards just last week. He's averaging almost 18 yards a catch.
Flag on the play. The play will be whistled dead. Blaze Brown coming in as the number 1 receiver for the Warriors. He's also put up amazing numbers. The numbers these two teams have been putting up through 4 games, very impressive.
Yeah, just going back to Blaze. Blaze is a kid who has over 500 yards already in the season. They only played 4 games.
That's
amazing.
Got
so many athletes on this team, on this offense, who can make plays, and Blaze is continuously stepping up and making these plays.
The false start makes it 2nd and 9 for Cherokee. Handoff to Tiller, left side, looking for some room, but good pursuit by the Walton defense. DJ Smith coming up from his secondary position to lead that gang of Raider tacklers.
And that's one thing Walton probably wants to do is get that big guy going east and west. When he going north or south, he's kind of hard to bring down. But east and west, you can corral him. You can fly to the football and get a lot of white hats on him. So that's what they want him to go, east and west, not north and south.
3rd and a little bit more than 10. Quarterback Ashley takes the shotgun snap, throwing right side to his check down receiver. That's number 18, Jordan Freeman, a senior. But again, great pursuit led by DJ Smith of the Raider defense.
That's what we call getting to the football. These guys flying around. We talked about DJ Smith having so many people after him. Good job of Spencer just getting to his outlet. Guys making misses. But guess what? DJ Smith, a real good open field tackler. That's the reason why all these schools want him.
4th and long, so here comes the punter for the Warriors. That's Obi Brannon, number 31, set up to kick it away to the Walton team. He's on his own 22. Good snap from Mace Bailey. Brannon kicks it away. DJ lets it go. Walton will take over on their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10.
Both offenses had good things happen in spurts. Nothing was consistent. Nothing was sustained. Both teams wanted to do something well on offense. Both had one series there. So maybe the second series they're going to open it up just a little bit more. Both QBs settled down. Defense is settling in. So we should have a little bit better second series here if you're Walton, especially how they performed in that first series.
Well, you can tell that both of these teams are hyped up and focused on this very important region contest. Region 5 of Class 6A in Georgia. Bryce Wilson keeping it on the ground. Handing it off to the fullback Henry Rowling. No, to number 10, KK Brooks. Picks up a few yards up the middle. Gets it out to the 32-yard line.
And one thing about this Walton offense, we talked about how KK has rushed the ball for over 100 attempts this year. The next closest man, Earl, is 17. And that's by the quarterback, Bryce Wilson. So to say that KK is not going to get the rock majority of the time, that's an understatement.
Absolutely. Some impressive numbers. Bryce Wilson, 6'2", 200 pounds, senior quarterback for the Raiders. Looking to his right. Got a man. Caught. Maurice Gibson. We just talked about him. Maurice, a few more yards after the catch. Another 1st and 10 for the Raider offense. Ball will be marked at the 45-yard line of Walton.
Another great job of him catching the ball in traffic. A lot of guys, that's probably a mainstay combination by a lot of teams. They run a fullback in the flat. You got your Z receiver comes up around a curl. Your tight end runs a flag, gives your quarterback some great spacing right there. He hits it right in the open area. Good job of Gibson turning in the shadow and getting the first down.
Head coach Rocky Hidalgo had nothing but great things to say about his quarterback, Bryce Wilson, and we can understand why so far as they hand it off to KK Brooks. Picks up 5 yards on the left side, gets it out to midfield.
Very tough run right there. We're gonna say KK names over and over again tonight, and coach says we're going to keep giving it to him. It's only a matter of time before he pops one and breaks it. So it's definitely a big-time thing here.
As for the front line for Cherokee, they got a bandit position, which is the right defensive end, number 88, Aubrey Sharp.
He's their sack leader.
Yes.
He is their sack leader. He's the guy that coach said he is irreplaceable on that defensive line.
And they call his position the bandit position as Wilson finds a man, number 4. That's Chad Clay, the sophomore. Good completion, great gain for the Raiders down inside the Cherokee 30-yard line.
Look at Price threading the needle, putting it on a button right there. Good job of Chad Clay right there, just making a guy miss. He's only a sophomore. He's 6'1", 175, and coach calls him the deep threat.
6'1", 175 for a sophomore.
And he's the deep threat of, the two receivers in Maurice Gibson and Chad Clay.
He's the son of Willie Clay. A lot of
heard that name before.
Football fans in this state certainly know that name. Shotgun snap. They hand it off to KK Brooks, left side. Good shifty move. Trying to use his blockers downfield. Another great gain for the Raiders down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good job right there of KK putting his foot in the ground, getting north and south. But then you're going to have to make one guy miss once you get into the second level. Makes the safety miss, picks up another 10 yards. Good, hard run by KK. And we know KK's in shape. He's not coming off the field. Got to love that by him running downhill.
Another 1st and 10 for the Walton Raiders. 15 yards away from the end zone. Rowling in motion. Handed off to Brooks, right side. Nothing that time as the Cherokee defense was completely ready.
Ooh, don't do him like that, D-line. D-line getting some pressure up there, up front. Big 41, we talked about Jamaria Fox up front, being a key guy up front, along with the anchor Nathan Dent, number 52. You got number 1, Landon Monroe. I mean, you got a lot of guys up front who make plays for him. We talked about Aubrey Sharp earlier. This D-line is hungry. They want to make some plays.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the first period. No score in Canton, Georgia. Play fake. Wilson rolls right, throws to the end. Oh, in and out of the hands of Maurice Gibson. We gave him too much praise, DJ.
Oh, Maurice, you're walking in the end zone. Look at Price come around, get his shoulders around. He's got somebody in his face, but he just lays it to Maurice. Maurice smelled that goal line. That's what it was.
Oh, he did.
He smelled. He could have walked in the goal line without anybody touching him. What a great play call right there. I mean, that was awesome, just putting it out in front.
I tell you, Price Wilson, it looks razor sharp.
He is. He's throwing the ball
really well.
Great technique,
great release.
He's only had one bad pass on the night, which was the high pass on 3rd down, but that's just because he was late. If he wasn't late, every single time when he knows exactly where he wants to go with the football, he's on point with it.
3rd and 10 for the Raiders. Have a great drive going, trying to avoid stalling right here. Big play for Wilson and the Raiders, plenty of time, throwing to the end zone and through the hands of number 21, DJ Smith, who also is a big threat offensively. Good coverage that time from Asher Davis, and DJ Smith showed the great sportsmanship.
Well, you know what? You got to give the big boys up front some love. He had all day to throw the football.
He did.
Jack Henry, Eric Smith, David Davis, John France, and Forrest Evans, the big guys up front, gave him plenty of time to throw the football. He just couldn't connect on it.
Flag on the play. It's going against Walton, so that will push it back, the field goal attempt, 5 yards further away. It is going to be 4th down, as referee Bob Hamby tells us, because Cherokee declines the penalty.
He didn't want to give him another chance
no, he didn't.
on 3rd down.
The way that Walton quarterback is looking right now. The kicker for the Raiders, number 89, Christian Lucas. Right now, he's looking at a 34-33 yarder. The holder is backup quarterback Benton Poor. Snapper is Tim Mattis. Snap is good, hold is clean, and the kick is up. Plenty of leg and good. Raiders get on the board first here in Canton, Georgia, thanks to a 33-yard field goal. Walton leads it 3-0. You're watching high school football on WSBTV.com, presented by the Georgia Lottery. Welcome back to high school football on WSBTV.com, presented by the Georgia Lottery. Cherokee Warriors setting up to return the kick from Christian Lucas after Lucas just booted through a 33-yard field goal for the first scoring of the game. The visiting Raiders from Cobb County jump out on top here late in the first period.
Yeah, better. We just talked about that second series being a series that probably is going to be a lot better for both teams because they was able to calm down and relax. Now we're going to see if Cherokee can return the favor a little bit against this Walton defense and go down and get a successful drive as well. So we both know they both score a lot of points, so we definitely will see if they can come back and tie it up or take the lead.
Lucas is the kicker for Walton. Boots it into the end zone and through the back of it for a touchback. So Cherokee will take over 1st and 10. Number 10 for the Warriors is Andrew Harris. He was back deep, but let the ball go through the end zone. Let's see what Spencer Ashley, number 4, the Cherokee quarterback, has on his second series of the game.
Looking forward to seeing more of Spencer. This is a 4.0 kid. Man, you believe this? He's never made a B. Never made a B in high school. All A's throughout his high school career. He's only a junior, but first 2 years, never made a B.
I know nothing about that world. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. They pick up maybe 2 or 3 on the right side as 42, Dreyon Williams, comes up a little slow. Blake Johnson was the ball carrier on that first down for the Warriors. Second and 10, no gain on the play. Ashley looks like he's doing a little audible there from the shotgun position. Looking to throw, plenty of protection. Now moves to his left, looking for something downfield. Has a man, but out of bounds, intended for number 10, Andrew Harris.
You know what, we talked a lot about Price Wilson, the quarterback of Walton, but Spencer does a great job himself. And you see here on the replay, it gets a little pressure. He probably could have stayed in there a little bit longer, but a good job of giving his guy a chance. But also, last week, I got a legal man downfield right there on Cherokee, so they're going to back it up even more. But Spencer, last week, Benner, 455 yards against Lassiter.
Amazing.
Throwing the football, and that's the highest total in the state of Georgia, in the entire state of Georgia this year, throwing the football. So he has a record under his belt right now. So 455 yards last week. We know he can throw the football as well. They score a lot of points. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do as this game progresses.
So far, they really haven't established any rhythm offensively. Looking to do so here in their second series of the game, but the penalties are certainly not going to help them find that rhythm as they face a 3rd and 10 from their own 20. Ashley also with 5 TDs a week ago in that 455-yard passing night. Pressure in his face, but he's able to complete it to Britt Brown, the sophomore, number 28, but well short of the yardage needed for the first down, so they'll have to kick it away.
Great job by Walton's defense of being alert and ready for the bootleg, but even better job, I think, of Spencer right there. As soon as he does the play action and comes back around, there's 2 guys sitting right in his face. You see the play, there's 2 guys sitting right there in his face. Dreyon, one of the guys getting the pressure on him. But him getting rid of that football was huge because that could have been an even bigger loss and making it hard on this punter. So good job of Spencer getting that ball out, but even better job of Walton being there to corral the receiver.
DJ Smith and Chad Clay back deep for the Raiders. Not the greatest of punts for Obi Brandon, and a bad kick as well for Cherokee. So great field position for the Walton Raiders. They are looking a whole lot better right now offensively, and they will take over 1st and 10 from the Cherokee 46-yard line.
It's one thing this Cherokee defense, Coach talked about it was, he said, I want to keep their offense in front of us. We don't want to give up any big plays, keep everything in front of them, make them rush the ball up the middle, throw it up the middle, but we can't have anything go over the top of us for big plays.
And their defense hasn't exactly been a stone wall. They've given up almost 375 yards of offense through their first 4 games, and they've also allowed an average of 29 points per game. So their defense is struggling, as is Walton's.
Yeah, their defensive coordinator, Matt Ely, has his hands full tonight with a pretty good quarterback in Price Wilson here playing tonight.
Referees whistle it dead before we're able to get going. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. from the Cherokee 46-yard line. Gibson in motion. Keeping it on the ground to Brooks, left side, off tackle play. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards. Good gain on first down for the Raiders.
Great job there running. And Coach talked about offensive guard number 64, who is Eric Smith, who makes a lot of plays from up front and get him moving, and you're going to see them running over him a lot tonight.
We have reached the end of the first quarter. The visiting Raiders of Walton leading at 3-0. You're watching high school football on WSBTV.com, presented by the Georgia Lottery. Back in Canton, Georgia, as you take a look at the visiting Walton Raiders leading the Cherokee Warriors 3-0. Getting ready for the start of the second quarter. High school football on WSBTV.com, presented by the Georgia Lottery. Now, I don't want to start developing some kind of jinx here with these football teams that we're showing online every week. Both these clubs came in averaging well over 30 points a game and only 3 points between the two of them through one quarter.
I know. We were expecting some offensive firepower. We haven't seen it yet.
2nd and 6. Good run by KK Brooks. Good cut up the middle. As you say, DJ, put that foot in the ground and came close to a first down. It'll be 3rd and short for the Raiders.
Yeah, I remember our running backs coach when I was in college and also in the NFL telling guys, listen, once you see your hole, put your foot in the ground and get north and south. And that's what these guys are doing now. So they're learning early. Going east and west won't get you many yards. And a guy like KK, who runs the ball all the time, knows all about getting north and south.
Bryce Wilson, the Walton quarterback, has the runner, KK Brooks, in the backfield behind him. He play fakes to him, going downfield. Great release, wide open. Maurice Gibson taken down, touchdown saving tackle by Devon Mercer, but a huge play for Gibson and the Raiders. They are in scoring position in the red zone.
This play puts so much pressure on his safety. You got 3 vertical guys. He has to choose between 1 to 2 inside guys. It makes it hard. And even the outside corner has to make that play. So they basically have a 3-on-1 play call right there. Just great job of reading it out by Bryce Wilson and delivering a strike. Now they're knocking on the door, trying to go up by at least 10 right here.
1st and goal for Wilson and the Raiders from the Cherokee 4-yard line. 1 minute into the second quarter. Wilson from underneath center hands it off to Brooks. That time, good defense, good play from the Cherokee defensive line, as well as free safety Brett Brown, who came up to protect the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this is a stout defense now. They're not going to let you roll in there now. The best thing that they probably can do is Walton is throw the football. Not much going on the ground right now. They're giving KK a few holes, but other than that, Walton's going to try to pound it in here and see if they can get some control going.
2nd and goal from 3 yards out. They give it to KK. He fights through, and he gets it into the end zone. Touchdown, Walton Raiders.
Big second drive. Big third drive, actually. His second and third drives have been huge for Walton right here. This is what we call a 1-2 run right here. Got a guy on his shoulders, 2-3 guys banging on him. Let's get in the end zone, son. That's what he did, putting his team up by 9. Hopefully get another point play action here by off the field goal to get to 10.
Brooks just carried Devon Mercer into the end zone. And now Christian Lucas looking to put the visiting Raiders up 10-0 with the PAT. Snap and hold are good, and so is the kick. The visiting Raiders from Walton lead the Cherokee Warriors 10-0. You're watching high school football on WSBTV.com, presented by the Georgia Lottery. Number 10, Andrew Harris, back deep for the Cherokee Warriors. Early second quarter. And the Raiders of Walton have jumped out to a 10-0 lead as the visiting team in this Region 5 game of Class 6A here in the state of Georgia.
All right, now it's time for Coach Shaw's Cherokee Warriors to say, all right, we've been punched in the mouth. Can we respond now? We're down 10-0 on our home field. This is a Walton team that's very hungry, coming off a loss last week that they weren't really excited about. Coach talked about putting them through the paces in this whole week of practice, practicing hard. Walton is taking it to Cherokee now. Will Cherokee respond?
Chris Jensen, a new kicker for the Raiders, booms it through the hands of number 10, Andrew Harris, as the Warriors take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Chris Jensen is a new kicker for the Raiders. Head coach Rocky Hidalgo was telling us earlier in the week, DJ, that they recruited him off the halls of Walton High School. Tremendous leg, number 25.
Wow.
Plays a lot of soccer, and they're trying to teach him how to be a football kicker, but he's got a huge leg.
You can see there, he's getting taught right there already
right.
how to get that thing up in the air, but that's a heck of a kick.
1st and 10 for Ashley and the Warriors. They hand it off to Blake Johnston, right side. Not much there. Drayon Williams with the stop for the Raiders.
Running behind him, big number 55 right there. Travis Head, who coach says is going to be pretty good. He's a decent player right now. He's a junior, 6'4", 240, coming into his own.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard run by Johnston. Again, the Walton defense ready for the Warriors. A 1-yard gain by Johnson on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and long for the Warriors.
The Warriors trying to run behind their big number 50, Calvin Mayo, a guy who coach talked about has pretty much won the Warrior belt throughout the year, and we'll tell you about the Warrior belt in just a minute.
Quarterback Spencer Ashley looking over to the sideline and to his offensive coordinator, Stevie Jackson, as they adjust their formation for 3rd and 9 from their own 21. Complete left side. That's to Tiller, Dwayne Tiller, the big sophomore running back, and he's able to get enough yardage on the run after the catch and pick up a 1st down for the Warriors, unless there's a flag on the play.
Looks like we're good.
I see referee Bob Hamby. He's checking the mark to see if it's a 1st down. Indeed it is. Now they move the chains. 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Great play call right there. Again, Spencer on the corner, giving him a chance to have a run-pass option, giving it to the big Tiller on the outside, and he definitely is going to get it once he gets rolling.
Warriors trying to get something going back to the ground game, but not much there. The defensive line for Walton, Drayon Williams, Mikey Kramer, Bennett Wilson, all getting it done right now for Walton.
And a big linebacker, number 26, Jordan Voster, getting a big tackle right there, meeting him in the hole. Great job of him meeting the guy at the point of attack and getting him down for a big gain.
2nd and 9 for Ashley and the Cherokee Warriors from their own 31-yard line. Complete out on the right side to number 8, Blaze Brown, a big threat. He's a 6-foot, 170-pound senior. Picks up good yardage after the hitch catch.
Good job, play action, getting it outside, making one guy miss, getting upfield. Great job of Blaze right there. You just want to get this guy the ball in space.
Yes,
anytime you get it in space, he's a chance for him to take it to the house.
Another 1st down for the Warriors. Trying to find their offensive rhythm. Shotgun snap to Ashley. They go back to Blake Johnson. This time he finds some running room up the middle and picks up 6 or 7 out to the 47-yard line.
And that's a good job right there. Run the football, getting something positive on 1st down so that you're ahead of the chains already, making it an easier call for your offensive coordinator here on 2nd down for Spencer.
2nd and 4 for the Warriors. Play fake. Bad throw to Blaze Brown from Ashley in the dirt. And that'll disrupt some rhythm there.
There's a Spencer has to make a better pass. Like it's the same throw he just made to Blaze. He has to really step into this football. It's a short pass. Just give it to him. He didn't really release it at a good angle. He has to just hit him in the chest. That's pitch and catch all day long with the receiver outside. That's a gimme.
Cherokee has lost 20 of the 26 meetings they've had with the Walton Raiders, and right now they are trailing 10-0 here in the second quarter. Ashley looking to throw on 3rd and 6. Over the middle and knocked down by Drayon Williams, who's having a really good game so far defensively for the Raiders.
Drayon had a chance to – he had a sack early. He almost had a chance for an interception. This could have been a highlight night for him. Just nothing going there for Cherokee. Cherokee's offense stalling a little bit right now. Coach talked about they want to run a play every 15 seconds. This him. He just got to get it up.
Oh, my.
I don't know if he's trying to check it down to his running back right there or he's trying to throw it downfield, but he has to throw it a little bit higher than that. Drayon definitely had a chance at that one.
DJ Smith back deep for the Raiders. High snap to the punter. Obi Brannon gets it away, but not the greatest of kicks. Cherokee trying to down it. They should mark it around the 30. Yes, they will. They'll mark it at the 33-yard line of Walton, where the Raiders will take over 1st and 10.
Cherokee's not getting much out of their punt.
No, they're struggling right now.
They're almost betting off, almost going for it. They only averaging probably about 10 yards after they really put it down. So they got to do better changing the field position. Now you're giving it back to a Walton offense who's the last couple series have drove the football really well off big plays. They're probably going to come back throwing the football because there are huge holes in this defense for Walton when they throw it.
Walton offense has been averaging 20 first downs a game to go along with their average of 32 points a game. And that last drive, they looked really sharp, and their quarterback, Price Wilson, continues to look very good tonight.
Yes, and giving it to guys like Maurice Gibson and Chad Clay. Maurice Gibson on the season, over 200 yards, a couple TDs, and he's averaging around 11 yards a catch. But that big one he had there on the what we call a triple seam was huge. 34-yard pass. They shut him up down there at the 4-yard line last series. So they're looking for more big things out of this offense, and looks like Price is just warming up.
Last time they had the ball offensively, they got it into the end zone, did the Walton Raiders, and now they take over 1st and 10 from their own 33. Play fake for Wilson. Over the middle, and it was right in the hands of number 34, Michael Bean, the linebacker for the Warriors. That could have been huge for Cherokee.
And that's just one of the bad decisions there we've seen there by Price. He's only made one or two the entire game, but Michael Bean, if he comes down with that outside linebacker there, the will linebacker, Coach talked about him being a big player for them. He's their do-everything guy on defense. And Coach talked about Michael being a guy who's been player of the week for him 2 out of 4 weeks. So he's a big-time player for him.
He came in as the leading tackler for the Warrior defense. 2nd and 10. Draw play to KK Brooks. Plenty of running room. Gets it out to the 42-yard line, but there's a flag on the play.
Maybe in the area of holding, looks like. Hopefully he's all right.
Got a man down as well. Cherokee with the man down. That's Michael Bean, who we were just talking about. Key player for the Cherokee defense.
Big runs coming back. Holding call on Walton. They ran a delayed draw right there to make it look like pass, get those linebackers out of there. By the time they touched him, he was already in the second level. So good play call, but they had a holding. And hopefully Mr. Bean's all right because he's definitely a big-time player for him.
Some kind of problem with his right leg as he limps off. But at least he's able to get off the field under his own power. So it'll be 2nd and 14 for the Raiders as they work from their own 30-yard line. KK Brooks still in the backfield with quarterback Price Wilson. Price looking to throw again. Good protection. Well-defined pocket, but incomplete. Intended for number 4, Chad Clay. That ball looked catchable, DJ.
There's some miscommunication on. I don't know who ran the wrong route or it was a bad pass or what, but he's wide open. That's a play they got to hit coming off a big holding penalty. They had a chance to get all those yards back and some more. The DB lost him on a corner route. They had so many guys pushing, flooding that zone over there. Chad Clay got to get his head up and regroup to the next play.
Head coach Rocky Hidalgo told us that number 4, Chad Clay, is still learning. He is a sophomore, but of course, tons of potential. Here we go, 3rd and 14. Wilson chased out of the pocket, has a man complete. That's DJ Smith on the right side. Beautiful throw from quarterback Price Wilson, and a great catch with a man hanging all over him as well by DJ Smith.
This is Price coming back after not making a not-so-good throw, putting it on the button right there. Good. Look at DJ go up and get that football. That's what you call attacking the football. That's even better coming from a guy who is a defensive back who usually you say don't have pretty good hands. You talk about corners who usually can't catch balls like that, but that just shows his versatility and what he can do if the ball's in his area.
Raiders trying to catch the Warriors unprepared. I believe that play is whistled dead. False start against the Raider offense in a little bit too much of a hurry that time.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to trick them, and you got to make sure you don't trick yourself first. They actually out-tricked themselves and got a big false start penalty there, so they're getting behind the chains. But we've seen his offense doesn't care about getting behind the chains.
I don't believe so.
They can push the ball down the field with every single throw.
The coach for Cherokee in the white shirt is their head man, Josh Shaw. Number 14 for the visiting Raiders from Walton is the quarterback, Price Wilson. After the false start penalty, 1st and 15 from their own 42-yard line. Back to the ground game, and KK Brooks. Good cut by Brooks, and look at him pick up about 10 or 11 yards on that carry.
He did more than pick that little false start back up. Now they're back in a 2nd and 5 or 6, and this is nothing but an ISO right up the field. You see guys getting blocks right there, just finishing guys on the outside. Their offensive line is mauling guys, just mauling people. You see the fullback, Henry Rawling. He was mauling his guy, pushing his guy out of the hole. Great job there of KK following his fullback into the hole.
And good blocking from the line, as you mentioned. 2nd and 5 for Wilson and the Raiders. Back to Brooks, this time on the right side, and hit hard a couple of yards after gaining a couple of yards by Jamori Fox, number 41 of Cherokee.
Absolutely. That's a great job of Cherokee right there, getting upfield, getting some penetration. They actually started their rush on the other side of the field and got to Walton a little bit early, so that was big for their front four. Coach talked about they're going to be big up front. They got to be able to move. And one thing he talked about Jamaria was, hey, he's going to be a great player, but we want him to play all the time, not just in spurts.
3rd down for the Raiders, 3rd and 3. The long 3 for Wilson and Walton. Looking to go to the air, quick release, and caught by Bailey Wolf on the right side. Did he hold on?
No, he didn't. He didn't hold on to that.
Incomplete. I thought he had it.
Bailey was trying to turn up the field. He had it in his hands, and you're going to see it last one. He turned his head. You see him turn his head right there? Turn his head and try to get upfield. That's a great look by camera crew guys right there.
Ian and Jay working the cameras atop the press box here at Tommy Baker Field in Canton, Georgia. So it's 4th and 3, and head coach Rocky Hidalgo said anytime when it's inside 4th and 5, they like to put the football in the hands of their punter, Hunton Spiller, and possibly run a fake punt, and maybe that is why Cherokee head coach Josh Shaw has called timeout to remind his punt return team that Walton likes to call a fake punt every now and then. They've already run 3 successful fake punts so far. Hunton Spiller, a former quarterback for Walton, has the ability and is given that decision power by head coach Rocky Hidalgo.
And that's the versatility of Walton, and what their punter can do for them is they have the chance to do that if they give them the right look. Coach talked about if they have the right numbers set up for them, then they'll definitely call it. It's as simple of, thumbs up, thumbs down, and they'll go with it. But the ability of the punter to be so versatile to be able to throw it and run it, that gives you a huge advantage, especially in situations like this on their side of the field. So it should be tricky to see what happens.
You're looking a lot sharper than I am. I was looking kind of sloppy in that on-camera shot. I got to keep up with you, DJ.
You're just a cool cat. That's all it is. It's a cool cat.
My tie was just all the way down to my belly button. What's going on?
It's called hard working here. That's what it is. You're just a little bit more fired up than me. That's all.
All right, let's see what Hunton Spiller does. He can get a thumbs up, as DJ pointed out, or a thumbs down from his head coach, Rocky Hidalgo. 4th and 5. The rugby-style kicker booting it away, getting a good bounce, inside Cherokee's 20-yard line all the way down to their 12-yard line. So once again, Cherokee takes over and starts another drive deep in their own territory. They have not had very good field position at all in this first half.
Yeah, I guess the numbers didn't show right there. Coach talked about there was a chance they could do it, but good thing that, they didn't have the numbers, because good thing that they said, hey, we're going to keep eyes on that punter and make sure he doesn't get to us. But Cherokee is in dire need of getting something going right now.
No doubt. Want to remind you to stick and stay for the Channel 2 Sports Zone halftime show with Anthony Amy. First half highlights, scores from around the state, and an interview with Cherokee principal Deborah Murdoch as the Warriors keep it on the ground, 1st and 10 to their main running back, number 5, Blake Johnston.
Venero, we came in this thing talking about 40-plus points on both sides from both teams.
and we got a big bagel on the board for Cherokee.
They got a major goose egg by Cherokee. Hopefully they can get something going right here. They still got plenty of time to drive the football down with 3 timeouts. Big play down the sideline.
And deep down the left side, but great coverage by number 4, Chad Clay. Intended that time for number 18, Jordan Freeman, down the left side.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I actually like that. Even though it was 2nd down, now you leave yourself in the 3rd long. Take a shot down the field. Let Walton know that you have the ability to throw the football down the field and pressure him. So here's another big 3rd down. You don't want to get off the field this fast. Walton's offense was just on the field. That means your defense has been on the field majority of this time. So
3rd and 9, another 3rd and long. Pressure on Ashley, but complete to Johnson. Plenty of running room and gets it out to the 40-yard line. Finally, a positive play offensively for the struggling Cherokee offense.
Great job. I think there's nothing but a little middle screen right here that let the guys come through. One guy to beat, and good job of picking up his block by Calvin Mayo, the left tackle, who we talked about earlier, who they had the big belt up front, the Warrior belt. He's a big key to this offense and also this team.
4 minutes, 32 seconds remain in the first half. Cherokee trying to get something going offensively, going down the field again. Oh, picked off by number 6. That's Taquar Stewart. He's got running room, still on his feet, cutting back against the grain, and finally taken down by Britt Brown. And now flags come in. Could be a face mask added to the INT by Taquar Stewart for Walton.
That's just a bang play right there. Good job with throwing it out there by Spencer. I have no problem. This ball hits him in the hands.
Right.
Hits him right in the hands. He got to come down with that. Blazes has to come down with that. Big-time receivers have to make those plays, but even better job of Walton right there. Taquar Stewart making a play on the football. They're trying to make something happen out there. You see a big face mask penalty right here. That's going to add to this and give Walton even more motivation going into this halftime and momentum as well.
Both of the safeties for the Walton defense, Taquar Stewart, you see him being talked to by one of his coaches, and number 21, DJ Smith, coming off a season in which they played cornerback a year ago, and now they're the 2 safeties for the Walton defense. And right there, Taquar looked like he had the ability for both positions.
Absolutely. He played that ball well in the air, and that's why his corner skills came on big right there.
Walton takes over 1st and 10 on the Cherokee 42-yard line. KK tried to get outside, slipped, and he kind of landed funny when he was trying to make that cut. He's going to have to step out.
Yeah, that didn't look good.
That didn't look good at all for his right knee.
I hope he's all right. He definitely didn't. He didn't plant right on there. Hopefully
Correct.
He just slipped or something right there. That's the only thing we're hoping for. But now they're bringing in their backup running back right here, Nick Bruno.
Walton with the hurry up. And they hand it off to Bruno. Left
sorry
side.
about that. That's Ben Hood. I'm
Ben
sorry
Hood,
about that.
Number 2, the junior running back, 5'9", 175 pounds, and he loses his shoe on the first time he gets to carry the football. So here comes DJ, the all-everything.
They're rotating these backs in here now.
You see number 10, KK Brooks, pointing to his right knee and thigh area as he works with one of the Walton trainers. 3rd and short for the Raiders, trying to get on the board for the 3rd time in this first half as we approach the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Referee stops play. Timeout called by Rocky Hidalgo and his Walton Raiders.
3 minutes to go here at the half. Cherokee has to stand up here. They're already down 10-0. They're looking to go in here. You see Coach right in the middle of them, trying to get them going. Coach, that's the head coach, Josh Shaw, right there, trying to get his troops riled up, saying, listen, guys, we need a stop right here. They got a good chance of getting it right here. It's a 3rd and short. This is what you're made of right here. It's a big region game. This is why you want to play in this game, because you want to win.
Head coach Josh Shaw there in the white shirt. First year as head coach for the Cherokee Warriors. Came over from Etowah High School, and he also has some college experience in Division II. Trying to fire up his troops, as you pointed out, DJ. And here comes K.K. Brooks back in the game for the Raiders, so good to see him ready for action again.
Absolutely. That's just outstanding. You never want to see a kid, any kid of any stature go down, but especially a kid like KK who runs the ball really well.
3rd and 2, less than 3 minutes to go, working from the Cherokee 33-yard line. The Raiders put it in the belly of Brooks, and he shows plenty of running ability. Looks like he's back to 100%. Still a little gimpy on his right knee.
Look gimpy, but he definitely stuck his foot in the ground and got north and south and got the first down on there. Took on a couple Cherokee guys in the process, but you're probably going to see Walton try to take this clock all the way down and probably take a shot here and there. Maybe on first down here, take a shot down the field, but they got plenty of time to do whatever they want to do on offense.
1st and 10 for the Raiders from the Cherokee 28-yard line. Quarterback Bryce Wilson keeps it that time. Picks up a couple of yards on the right side.
Okay, Price, I see you. I see you trying to lower your shoulder. You trying to get him a little bit right there, saying, hey, I ain't just saying no regular quarterback. Those quarterbacks are tough guys.
He is.
You know, I like to hit you every now and then up in this booth.
I know you do.
I like the toughness by Price right there.
I got to start hitting the weight room more often if I'm going to keep working with you every Friday night. 2nd and long and 2nd and 7 for the Raiders from the 26-yard line. Wilson, quick out to Rowling. That throw a little too high for the 5'11" fullback for the Raiders.
Price is going to wish he had that one back there. That one completely sailed on him. That is not the ball we've seen him throw all night, especially throwing to the flat. You see him shaking his head there or throwing to a fullback. As a quarterback, you always taught you got to throw it right at those guys. Don't lead them. Give it to them right now. Another big 3rd down for Cherokee. Can you stand up now? Another big 3rd down.
6th play of the drive for the Walton Raiders. 3rd and 7. Wilson has some time. Good release and caught. Left side, that's Maurice Gibson on the catch for the Raiders. Another first down for Walton as they threaten the end zone again.
Well, guess what? When things get sticky, you go find to your go-to receiver. Nice curl route. Nice job of Price coming back after the bad throw, putting it right on him. There's a void in that defense, and they're fine. The coach talking about they're going to play a lot of zone coverage. Cherokee plays a lot of quarter coverage all across the board.
Oh, the right side of the line. Jump, number 64, Eric Smith. He's pointing to the defensive line, but it's going to be a false start on the Raiders, according to referee Bob Hamby, and that'll back them up to 1st and 15.
Yeah, the offense usually gets that one, even if the defense
He was quick
jumps.
to point out, though. He was doing his best.
That's what you call acting. He was trying to sell it. Good job of acting and selling it, but not enough.
Less than or 124 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Walton trying to get on the board for the 4th time here in the first half. 1st and 15. Back to K.K. Brooks on the left side. Weaving his way through the defensive line and the second tier of the Cherokee defense. Picks up a few yards. Clock continues to run, approaching the 1-minute mark. 2 timeouts remain for Walton, and they are using one of them right here with 61 seconds remaining in the half.
Big 2nd down right here. It's a chance for Cherokee to get off the field. I think Walton's already in field goal range. This is a chance for Cherokee to try to create a turnover here. Do something. Get after Price. They got to put some pressure on Price. They haven't really rushed him, the passer, that much. He's getting the ball out of his hand in good timing, so that makes it hard on that front four. But They got to put pressure on Price. They cannot allow him to sit back there and throw the football. You got less than a minute left. We got almost a minute 5 left and one timeout. So Walton's going to push the football. They may run it and get up to the line of scrimmage, call 2 plays, and go. But they're going to force them to throw the football, make a play on the ball when the ball's in the air if you're Cherokee.
66 seconds remain in the first half. Don't forget to stick and stay for the Channel 2 Sports Zone halftime show with Anthony Amy. First half highlights, scores from around the state, and a special interview with Cherokee principal Deborah Murdoch. She has got some great news regarding the Band of Warriors, the marching band for Cherokee High School. They have got some exciting, or they received some exciting news this week, and Anthony will tell you all about it at halftime. Right now it's 2nd and 13 for Wilson and the Raiders. Play fake, slant pass, caught. Maurice Gibson right side, trying to get it into the end zone, stopped at the 6-yard line. But another big catch from number 7 in white for the Raiders.
Great job play action, pulling those linebackers up just for a half a second, getting it right behind them, and good job of putting it on the button. Right. Great pass, very accurate. That's what you got to be down here on the goal line. But another 3rd down right here for Cherokee. Can they stop them?
3rd and short. The ball is at the 6-yard line. Handing it off to KK Brooks. Plenty of running room going toward the end zone, and he's in there. Touchdown, Walton Raiders.
That's just hardening if you're Cherokee. You try to push everybody to the middle. And KK sees the bounce, jumps right outside. You see everybody crashes down inside, and Cherokee bounces right outside, and not much to do there if you're Cherokee. Walton, and a good job of running by KK, and a good job of Walton's offense of capitalizing on a good field position.
Christian Lucas on for the point after the 9-play, 60-yard touchdown drive for the Raiders. Snap and hold are good, and so is the kick. A 17-0 big lead for the Raiders from Walton High School, jumping out on top as the visiting team in this Region 5 clash. And right now, the Raiders continuing to dominate their series against Cherokee High School. They've won 20 of the previous 26 meetings.
Yeah, not much to cheer about if you're Cherokee. A lot of fans came out tonight and not really performing up to the capability that they wanted to. Walton, on the other hand, definitely came out and established everything they wanted to do except for that first drive. The last few drives have been very successful, throwing the football and also putting it in the hands of KK.
Really, as a former quarterback, you got to be impressed with Walton quarterback Price Wilson. He's had maybe 2, maybe 3 poor throws.
Yeah.
Everything else really sharp and really doing a good job running this offense.
Yeah, Price is throwing the ball really well tonight. He's a very quick release guy, and he's putting it on the button. He's only had 2 or 3, like you said, that's been overthrows or balls he probably really wants back. But other than that, he's definitely put the ball in position for his playmakers to make plays, and they're doing that, and that's the reason why. They're up 17-0 right now, about to be before half.
Here's this new kicker that we mentioned, Chris Jensen for the Raiders, as number 10, Andrew Harris, lines up deep to receive the kick for the Cherokee Warriors. Final seconds of the first half, less than 30. And Chris Jensen kicks it away for the Raiders. Fielded by Harris at the goal line, but whistled as a touchback by referee Bob Hamby.
Well, you see the improvement on that kick, though? He got that ball up in the air, and he was pretty excited about that one. He's probably going to get a couple good hand claps once he gets that one up, but great job.
Just a few seconds remain here in the first half. Been all Walton so far. Cherokee will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. There's number 25, the new kicker, Chris Jensen, getting coached up on the sideline.
Oh, we just missed it. He had a couple good hand claps from a guy. He's going low, going high. He's feeling good.
Quarterback Spencer Ashley for the Warriors. He'll take a knee, and they'll let the clock run out, apparently. They need to make some adjustments in the locker room at halftime under head coach Josh Shaw. Struggling offensively. The home team, the Cherokee Warriors, find themselves trailing at halftime to the visitors from Cobb County, the Walton Raiders. 17-0 is our score at halftime. Coming up next, the Channel 2 Sports Zone halftime show with Anthony Amy including first half highlights and a special interview with Principal Deborah Murdoch of Cherokee High School, who has some exciting news. Our score at halftime, 17-0 Walton. You're watching high school football on WSBTV.com, presented by the Georgia Lottery. Back in Canton, Georgia, Tommy Baker Field, home of the Cherokee Warriors, a football team that is struggling right now through one half of play.